Oodle Noodle was born and raised right here in the City of Champions, and we are committed to helping out our community during these trying times. To show our support, we will be donating 10% of our in-store takeout and curbside pickup orders to local charities on a weekly basis. That means when you order one of your favorites like Kung Pao or butter chicken, you'll be helping both your hunger and the local community. Oodle Noodle loves Edmonton and the surrounding communities, and we appreciate all your support. Head over to any one of our 13 locations today to pick up your order. Oodle Noodle was born and raised right here in the City of Champions, and we are committed to helping out our community during these trying times. To show our support, we will be donating 10% of our in-store takeout and curbside pickup orders to local charities on a weekly basis. That means when you order one of your favorites like Kung Pao or butter chicken, you'll be helping both your hunger and the local community. Oodle Noodle loves Edmonton and the surrounding communities, and we appreciate all your support. Head over to any one of our 13 locations today to pick up your order. Oodle Noodle was born and raised right here in the City of Champions, and we are committed to helping out our community during these trying times. To show our support, we will be donating 10% of our in-store takeout and curbside pickup orders to local charities on a weekly basis. That means when you order one of your favorites like Kung Pao or butter chicken, you'll be helping both your...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside another edition of the Nation pregame show, or as we should call it, the series setup for what is going to be a battle for first place in the North Division. As always, this show is brought to you by Deuce Vodka. Thank you so much for Deuce Vodka for coming on board. I'm Josh, this is Jay, and what do we have in store for you other than an MVP matchup? Just kidding, there's only one supposed MVP playing in tonight's game.
Oh, Connor versus Leon?
Yes, Connor versus Leon to see who can get more points tonight. But
sense.
as always, we're so glad that you guys have decided to join in with us. We see some people in the chat already excited for tonight's game, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This is great.
Yeah,
the numbers are buzzing.
Saturday is always just a good time.
I know, Saturday's a great day.
Saturday's a great day. Okay, we got lots to talk about, but the first thing that we should mention is this is technically a battle for first place in the North Division. Of course, the Oilers are 4 points behind the Leafs right now, Jay, but depending on the way that this next three-game series shapes up here between these two teams, there could be a new number one in the North come next week.
There could be. We're hot. We're so hot right now, and the Oilers are going to keep streaking until they stop, and I still feel like they've got a lot of gas in the tank. They showed they went and embarrassed Vancouver with the first game of the series, and then just played like good structured hockey and just won a hockey game on the second one. So we got a lot of momentum. There's a lot of positivity and good vibes and good storylines going throughout the lineup. I think coming back to Edmonton and playing Toronto, that's going to add fuel to the fire. This is the main event of the Canadian division.
This is the main event.
Toronto Edmonton. This is what we wanted. And now we're getting it 3 games in a row. Stressful, but huge opportunity for the Oilers.
The big headline for today is that Auston Matthews will not be playing in tonight's game. He's scared. We're going to talk about it. One of the headlines, I don't know if you saw yet, Jay, is I have it wrote down as MVP flu. Maybe he's a little bit nervous to get on the ice, and Connor's home bar.
Yeah, it can't be showed up if you don't show up.
That's actually, you can't be shown up if you don't show up. Okay, let's get into some numbers for tonight's game. Of course, the Oilers 14-8-0, 28 points, second in the North Division, on a 5-game win streak right now. And the Oilers are the hottest team in the NHL if you look at it on a 10-game basis. They're 8-2-0 in their last 10. Of course, the Oilers coming off a big 3-0 victory against the Canucks. We saw Puljujarvi, Chason, and McDavid score in that game. But more importantly, we saw another outstanding performance by Mike Smith.
That was a gutsy performance because we hung out to dry a few times, and he just made the big saves we needed.
Yep.
When we needed them, and that just keeps the whole game script on the rails, and keeps the good vibes going with the forwards in front. So he was huge when we needed to, and just steady. And we did a good job in and around those kind of lapses where those were some high danger chances. So Smitty he's taken that net, and he doesn't want to give it up.
Yep. As always on Saturdays, we like to make this show about you, so please send us your comments, your concerns. I'm monitoring Facebook right now. Jay's got some going on Twitter there. Here's a good comment coming in from Chris B. Noss. He called him Austin Glass Use. I've never actually heard that.
Well, I'll take it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, let's look at some stats when it comes to the Oilers' best players, or I guess the superstars on the Oilers. McDavid, of course, 14 goals, 26 assists, 40 points. He's averaging 1.82 points per game right now. Draisaitl, 10, 24, 34, second in the NHL. I have a feeling this is going to be a vintage Connor performance we're going to get tonight.
Well, Connor's playing against the Leafs, which is always, he could be shot out of a cannon and put out a big performance, which he likes to do against that team. And also, this is a show me series, right? This is 1 versus 2. This is if we do our job, we come out on top of the league. So there's just that extra motivation on our part. The Leafs have been okay as of late. They've been losing to Ottawa, which is I just enjoy thoroughly, and even lost to the Flames recently. So we're red hot, and they're just kind of teetering around. And this is a statement series, and tonight is the statement game to kind of set the tone of what the next 2 games after are going to look like.
Leafs are 15, 4-2, 32 points in the first place position in the North Division. They've been on a bit of a hot streak as well. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, of course. They're coming off a gutsy 2-1 overtime win versus the Flames. I was watching that
against
game.
The Flames?
Well, it was gutsy in the fact that
it's funny that it had to be gutsy.
Well, yeah, they were down by 2 goals with however much time left there, and then that was just. It was funny.
I was really hoping the Flames. Very rarely will I cheer for the Flames, but in the all-Canadian division, you find yourself cheering for the weirdest shit.
Well, you're cheering for a regulation win, which
yeah. 3-point games, they'll sting.
Doug Frank is coming in. Do you know who's commentating the game on Sportsnet tonight? We're gonna get the big crew: Cuthbert, Houston, and Principe. Or not Houston, sorry. Cuthbert, Simpson. Simpson will be on color, and then Principe is gonna be doing the.
Happy belated birthday, Gene Principe. I think it was his birthday yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene's
a staple in the Edmonton media community. Mm-hmm. Gene, we love you. Okay, let's talk about lines. We're not sure. They haven't come out yet of what exactly the Oilers are going to do in regards to if they're going to run 11-7 once again. What we're looking at right now and what we can assume is that, of course, those top 2 lines are going to stay the same. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Puljujärvi, Draisaitl, Kahun, and Yamamoto. That third line, they were very, very hot for a bit there. They seem to have maybe teetered off a little bit. See if they can get back on some good mojo again.
Daily Faceoff is showing 11-7.
Daily Faceoff is showing 11-7. So right now, DFO is showing technically Ethan Bear playing on a fourth line
winger.
Fourth line left wing position for Ethan Bear.
Well, that's where you're going to slot him in. We only have so many spots on the site to put players.
Yep. If you were asking me as a fan perspective, what would I want to see? I absolutely love 11-7 because we're seeing Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins double the amount.
It obviously doesn't hurt. Obviously, we got to, at some point in this season with a shortened season and the amount of games and frequency with which we're playing, which is a lot, we have to actually deploy a little bit of load management. So right now, sure, fun. It's great. It's working. So I'm all fine with it. But at some point, we might have to reconsider it.
Barry and Nurse, as always, going to be on that top pair. I love it. I hope they don't break that up for the rest of the season. Larson, Russell, Bouchard, Jones on that third pairing. We can assume that probably the way it'll end up shaking out is that it'll be Ethan Bear that'll probably end up slotting in on that second or third pairing. Probably the third pairing. And then they'll probably slide Bouchard over to the other side if they want to get him more minutes. Okay, we got some comments coming in here on Facebook. Carson is calling Gene the Prince of Puns. Yes, of course he is.
The king now.
This is an interesting comment from Mohegan Wolf on Facebook. I want to decipher this. I want to make sure I have this right. He's saying, Matthew's not playing because he doesn't want to be embarrassed by the great one. No, not 99, the great one, I said. Not sure if he's calling Connor McDavid the great one.
Wow, that's... how about we just stick with what the next one is? I think they were calling Sidney Crosby once upon a time.
Okay, let's look at the Leafs lines as well. The Leafs are dealing with a little bit of injury right now. Of course, we know that Joe Thornton and Jake Muzzin are once again back in the lineups. Just give me a second here. I seem to have lost the Leafs lines here. And then the big story that we know as well, we've already touched on it, is Austin Matthews not playing tonight, which means that top line is going to be Tavares, Marner, and Thornton. And then the second line is now going to feature, I always mess this up, Barabanov, Kerfoot, and Nylander. And then Pierre Engvall, Mikheyev, Hyman, Patan, Boyd, and Spezza. The big story on the back end is they have Jake Muzzin back, but then the even bigger story for them is that Jack Campbell is going to be the starting goaltender for the Leafs tonight.
Shell him.
Campbell, I would say he's flaunting some pedestrian numbers. He's only got 2 starts so far this year, .923 save percentage, 2 goals against, but in both of those starts, he's yet to face the Edmonton Oilers, who are number 1 in the NHL in scoring.
Jack, we're coming in hot, buddy.
This is going to be a high-scoring affair.
Pray for Jack, hashtag.
Both of these teams are the number 1 and number 2 scoring teams in the NHL, Jay. Do you anticipate we're going to see that tonight? Is it just going to be goals, goals, goals?
Well, you like to think that both teams are going to try and put in a good effort because of what's at stake. Yep. So you hope the Leafs, put in and this is a battle royale on the ice and just high octane, high offense where the Oilers come out on top. Like, that's super entertaining.
Yeah.
But also, I'm about the W's. So if this is a tight defensive battle and we win 2-1, I'm all in for that. But I feel either way, the teams are going to show up for this. But, if Connor and Leon are buzzing, like, that's tough. That's tough work.
Jay, I got a question for you. You're from Justin Hamilton. Any way to get Nation beer in Saskatoon?
We're working on that. So the interesting thing about being in the beer game, or I'm learning about being in the beer game, is that each province operates with its own rules and own agencies that kind of oversee it. It's like a provincial thing. So we're working on getting into Saskatchewan. We're available, and we can be available now, I think, into BC. I don't know which liquor stores have picked us up. Saskatchewan, we're trying. We haven't been able to get into Manitoba. We're listed in Ontario. We just haven't sent anything out into Ontario yet. We've just been kind of focusing on Alberta because right now we're just, the demand is so high. Thank you, everyone, for that. Once the season kind of came back, Nation beer is kind of flying off the shelves. So, but we want to work on it. I've got a lot of Sasky family there. In Saskatchewan, and there would be nothing prouder for me to have Nation beer available where I don't have to smuggle it in, Al Capone style, into Saskatchewan.
Richard says, ripe for the picking. I assume he means that Jack Campbell is going to be ready to be absolutely just assaulted.
He's getting shelled. He's getting shelled. That's a certain.
Tegan's coming in here saying Dry's limping. I'm not sure exactly what that means. If Drysaddle's hurt or something.
I'm wondering. Sure. There's moments where I see Drysaddle's not really moving too much, and he's trying to carry the puck without skating.
Yeah.
And it's turning into some turnovers here and there, but he's still dry. And it still works, but I think maybe that's what he's alluding to. There's just some points in the game where I'm like, ooh. And there's one thing we know about Dry. When his battery's low, he shuts it down.
Oh, yeah. People like to call him a lazy player when he's fully healthy. Yeah. If he's laboring with something,
I wouldn't say he's lazy. It's just when, like I said,
when people like to call him that.
Connor with 1 bar left on the old, I guess, gas tank or battery thing on your phone. Jeez. Wow.
Nice.
Anyways, Connor's got that last mile where Leon doesn't.
Troy saying we simply cannot lose to the Matthew-less Leafs. I
would agree.
I agree.
I agree.
It'd be a tough look.
I will say one thing. Austin Matthews is a good hockey player, and he is a threat when he's on the ice.
Yes.
Hey, game respects game, and it's not my game that's respecting his game. It's just anyways. But the fact that he's not on the ice, you have to take advantage of that because they still have some weapons, but we've got more now. We're out arsenaling them, and we would even with Matthews in the lineup, but still he poses that threat because he can score 2-3 goals in a game quite easily. So the fact that he's out, I would agree. In a 3-game series, you have to assume Matthews is coming back maybe next game or the game after that.
Yeah.
So we have to take this is an easier win for us.
Yeah.
There's no easy wins, but this is easier.
Well, we've gotten to a point as a team that when you look at this game, I don't even think it would matter that if Austin Matthews was in the lineup, you expect to win with the group that we're fielding.
Well, and we're buzzing. I expect to beat everyone right now.
Doesn't matter.
It's crazy. So this is
give us the 2010 Olympic team. We'll beat them. And listen. I know you just touched on it as well. Maybe not a good thing for me to say as an Oilers fan, but I love Austin Matthews. I love his game. I think he's probably he is the best scorer in the NHL. He's a top 4. Well, he's the best pure sniper.
He's in the top 3 of best scorers.
Well, he's a top 4 player in the NHL.
I bet you if Connor shot as much as Matthews, and we'll probably go check the stats, and they probably shoot the exact same amount. I might be way off, but we always think Connor doesn't shoot enough. He loves to pass the puck. Connor can snipe too, man.
Kyle Ritchie's coming in saying, I'm scared for this game because everything is pointing towards an Oilers win. Maybe I'm just too used to being hurt.
Here's the thing, right? The stage is set for us to have a really good chance to win this game. Like the minute they announced Matthews was out, the betting line just started plummeting for the Oilers. I was thankfully, early bird gets the worm. Still got him at a little bit of plus money, which is great. But we just can't. This was going to be my Deuce Vodka mode. I was going to put it to the entire team.
Well, we can jump into it.
No, because I've got a backup one in case. But it's we just don't stoop down.
Yes.
Do not stoop down and play to a lower level just because. We have to just go and just be relentless tonight, which is what we've been.
Yep. Okay, Crispy Noss is coming in again saying, any chance Tip takes Bouchard out tonight, or is he going to run 11 forwards again? According to DFO and what we're predicting, probably going to be 11 forwards again. We imagine they're going to want to get Ethan Bear in the lineup. It was good to see him back last game. He's
I'm seeing
great defender.
Things like DFO and our boy Brock runs. He is on his game over there. We have it in the GDB as P. Russell in, but I just think
I texted Bag Milk and he said that he just transferred the one over from the last GDB that Gregor did because he wasn't sure.
They're keeping lineups a state secret, which is annoying for us bettors because you know what? I want to bet on Patrick Russell scoring. I need to know if he's in. But so you got to keep Bouchard in. He has not earned. He's earning his ice time. He's earning his right, and this is good. Like he's developing. Like we need him to develop. We need him to just weaponize himself for a playoff run or / playoffs. Yep. So the more game time we can get him is good. So if that's kind of the ideology between 11 and 7, which it's working. I still think it's weird, but if they're making it work and we're winning, whatever. But I think it's important he stays in the lineup.
Yeah. Okay, let's enter our Deuce Vodka mode players of the night. Jay, you already mentioned yours. Do you want to start off, or do you want to do rock paper scissors again? I think you should just start. I counted it last time. I went back and watched the video 8 times in a row. We tied.
8 times we tied. Wow. Good TV right there. So I said Oilers don't collectively don't step down. This is the must win. Like if we win 2 of 3 of this series, we're all going to be happy.
Yeah.
Or if we can easily win all 3, but this sets the tone. So we cannot come in with our foot off the gas. But I will always, this is Edmonton versus Toronto. Tyson Barrie used to play for Toronto. So my Deuce Vodka player mode is for Tyson Barrie to take the ice and remind Kyle Dubas the mistake he made.
Yep.
Remind the coach, remind his teammates the mistake they made, and just letting Tyson hop down the Highway 1 long drive to Edmonton. I'm talking really slow because I'm thinking about on the fly here.
I have no idea where you're going.
And come in here, and he is just showing them up. So I want Tyson Barrie to just, shove it up mode. Shove it up mode to Toronto.
You want to
shove it, Kyle.
You want Tyson Barrie to enter getting shredded or getting super in shape when your ex cheats on you. That's what it is.
You can take it that way as well. Yeah, you can take it that way as well. This is just the FU to Toronto and to Kyle Dubas.
Albert Spence says a Barrie hat trick would be a cherry on the cake. I don't know if does Tyson Barrie even. He'd probably have a career hat trick. You imagine he would.
Well, he might, but I'm trying to find him. I'm on 2 different sports books. I'm trying to find him for over 1.5 points. I can't find him. If anyone can, please let us know because I want to bet that because that would then really be on brand with my FU mode that I want to be in.
We're getting more love for a Barrie hat trick in the chat. Landon Carr saying Tyson Barrie hat trick watch. Okay, my Deuce Vodka player of the night is going to be, as always, I've done him before, Connor McDavid. I want Connor McDavid to enter Pee Wee AA All-Star mode. And what that means is that you're playing Pee Wee hockey, you're the all-star on your team, you're going up to play against a team in your league that's really good, but they're missing their best player. And when you played sports when you were a kid, when you're entering a game and you just have that feeling inside your blood that this is just going to be a point night.
Yeah.
My parents are in the stands watching, the girl I like is sitting front row. I'm just going to put on a clinic tonight. I want Connor McDavid to enter that mode. I want him to enter Pee Wee AA All-Star mode where the other team is missing their best player. So you're like, I need to take advantage. I need to go off tonight. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's fair. Remember, Connor, Leonard's also watching. That's
Who?
His dog.
Leonard?
Leonard, the
Oh. I don't know why I thought Kawhi Leonard.
Always play for your dog.
Kawhi Leonard.
I know Hot Dog's watching.
Okay. We're going to jump into the next headline here. While we're doing that, make sure you keep firing off your questions on Twitter and Facebook. We're monitoring them right now. Chris is coming in again and saying, Barry and Nurse have been the best top pair the Oilers have had in years, despite the small sample size. It's fun to watch. Sorry to comment so much. Love the show. Chris, keep commenting, man.
Yeah, man.
We're not getting that many comments today. It's disappointing. It's a Saturday. If you're watching, step it up.
Fire up the chatter. I see
fire up the chat.
A lot of people are joining on Twitter, but they're not commenting.
Yeah.
And that's okay. If you don't want to comment, that's fine. But we're here for it. We want to answer your questions and just start conversation around it. Because that's what it's all about.
Yes.
The pregame show brand is supposed to emulate the pregame experience on your way to the game.
Just a conversation.
We're at the Pint downtown.
Yep.
We got to order chicken wings on the way.
Yep.
And we're all sitting around the table and we're talking about who should be starting, who should be fired, who should we trade for,
who do we hate,
who are we betting on to score.
Yep.
Why do we not like the Leafs? And
so comment. There's 56 people watching on Facebook right now. Comment. On that note, we have a couple comments coming in. Oh. Who's in goal? Ryan says, who's in goal for the Oilers? It is Mike Smith.
Yeah, we have Mike Smith.
Mike Smith. Troy's coming in 3-1 Oilers with an empty netter. 97 gets all three.
Whoa, speaking about empty netter, how about Connor finally putting one in?
Okay, you know
what? And he tried his best not
to get it to Draisaitl.
He hates empty netters, and that's so interesting to me.
Yeah. Because I talked to my parents about this, but because my mom said, why did he try to pass it off? And I said, Mom, if you're going to get an empty netter, the biggest thing teams like to do is you want three guys to touch the puck first because it's a point. You want points. So.
Yeah, but it's that's true. But as a guy who had some money on the line a few nights ago, and I needed him to hit that empty netter, and he just really didn't care.
Oh, that one.
Those always sting. But it's also about who doesn't miss an empty net and goes balls to the wall.
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews would take it, and Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh, but yeah, you take a goal where you can get it.
So it's also about that. It's also about building your legacy because everyone doesn't look at how many empty netters Gretzky has, and I'm sure he has a few, and I'm sure people have already pulled up the stats on how many he has. But who cares? Okay,
the chat is buzzing on Facebook right now. I love it. Everyone. We had a comment come in from Landon Carr. Comment: get Josh on more podcasts. Thank you, Landon. This is my boss, so tell him.
Yeah, Josh is on every podcast.
I haven't been on Real Life in 4 months. Just saying. I know you guys have your groove. It's a boys club over there.
It's
Real Life. You got your...
we got 4 people on it.
I know.
And we're doing it. The issue with the podcast right now is that we're not doing it in studio. So we have no flow. So the fact that we have so many people on, and we've got it on Zoom and you can see, but the
dynamic is so
everyone's
hard.
always jumping on over each other. But when you're in a room together, then there's natural prompts and flow, and then you can go full Wu-Tang style and have a bunch of people in the room. So it's a challenge. So when we're down a man, we do call on Josh.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Landon. Okay. Brandon's coming in, watching from Windsor, Ontario. Let's go Oilers. Thank you, Brandon. Cody Chamberlain is coming in saying, think Schmitty keeps rolling? I hope so.
Well, it's hard not to. He's in the thing that's impressing me about him is we know he's a competitor. We know he's a warrior. That's always what we hear. And he proves it in the net. He wants that net. He wants to stop the puck. He wants to push his teammates to be better and play for him and he's
a battler.
Yeah, he's a battler. Anyways, I was doubling my logic. But even in his interviews, just how he's talking and what he's talking about,
it's spill water all over myself.
Oh, whatever, that happens. The guy is just in the zone.
Oh yeah.
He's just calm. He's saying all the right things. And it's amazing to see this guy is in the zone. So ride the hot hand. Yep. He's obviously done a lot of work, coming into his game because he is getting older. But he's working, I think, a lot on the mental side of things and everything. And man, ride that horse, man. Ride that horse. Mikko, you'll play the next game probably, and that's great. And you'll probably play fantastic because that's how you do.
Yep. No, we love it. We love it. Kyle Ritchie is coming in saying Chason and Jujar are playing their way into a contract extension that they will never live up to. Alex Chiasson will not be on this team next year, likely, if I had to predict it. He's going to be a UFA come the offseason.
Yeah,
and if he is on this team, it will not be nearly the size of a ticket.
If he's staying, it's now definitely at a discount. He got his premium pay.
He got his ticket. Okay, Richard saying, let's see Archie go full Wendell Clark mode. Oh. I love people like giving us modes. Deuce Vodka modes.
Well, Archie hits like a freight train, just like Wendell. I've got so much respect and love for how that third line's playing right now.
Yeah.
Whether they score or not, they're going out there and doing the right things. Tyler Ennis, wow, like you're just playing good, and you're due for more goals. Like, I know you're an offensive guy, but like you've really subscribed to the third line role.
Yeah.
And Jujar's there. He'll make sure you're safe. Archie can just run around like a freight train hammering guys. Like, that guy...
Top 10 in NHL hits.
Well, and pound for pound, the biggest hitter in the league, for sure.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry, I can rant on. I know you want to jump on to another subject.
No, it's all good. Pekka Paxton saying, watching from Australia. Ooh. Thank you, Pekka. Here's a question from Robert William II. This is interesting. Do you guys agree with game times and how Hockey Canada favors Toronto? 5 p.m. games, they even favor them when they play in Montreal.
So... When they play in Montreal? No, it'd be at 5.
Well, is Montreal... Montreal's more east.
No, well, it's the same time zone. So here's the thing. I used to beef with it too, because I'm like, well, like, they're making it about them. And that's why we have to just cater to them. And that's like my like Edmonton versus the world mentality. But in actuality, we need to showcase Connor McDavid. The NHL and the world needs to see more of Connor McDavid. So a 5 o'clock game allows that to happen. And trust me, we want as many Leafs fans watching this game and watching Connor McDavid in an Oilers jersey. Yeah. So I've kind of had a change in mindset about it, and it makes more sense. Now, the embarrassing thing, which is probably not happening, is this game should be on U.S. television.
They should be an NBC game for sure.
I
want Mike Tirico calling this game, and I want the broadcast in Canada so I can listen to Mike Tirico call
That's where the NHL mismanages. Like, Connor McDavid and Christopher Steeg has been on the podcast, and I've seen him on social just like going ham about this. Like, we've got to broadcast this guy to the world.
Yeah. And NHL does a crappy job of marketing their stars.
It does a crappy job. Oh, I also want to shout out the Brazilian Oilers Twitter group. Yeah,
cool. Justin Hamilton's coming in. There was talk about getting Ryan Getzlaf for a pick. Thoughts on that? Obviously, Anaheim would have to retain some salary. I don't really care for Ryan Getzlaf right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Are you sure?
No.
Wow, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Where is he going to play?
The third line. I like third line. Third line.
So you're telling me you don't like Jujhar Khaira anymore?
No, just move them to the fourth line and give Getzlaf whatever. No, I love Jujhar.
You don't like Gaetan Haas?
Oh, Gaetan Haas. We can play on the wing.
Gaetan Haas. I'm just bugging.
He's a sneaky magician out there. Just watch him. Every once in a while, he'll just do a little pass.
He's a skilled player. He's skilled.
He is so sneaky, and he flies like the wind. Like he deserves to get more offense. But I want to go back to Ryan Getzlaf.
Okay, not for long though.
If we could get him and we don't have to like give away like a crazy prospect or something. Or like a Broberg type. Like, how do you not?
Oh, there's no way.
I know Ryan Getzlaf doesn't need speed to be good. So if everyone's like, oh, he's not that fast and blah blah, who cares? That guy thinks at a cerebral level, can pass like he's an elite passer. I was gonna say pass like the wind. That makes no sense. He can pass. Elite level like mental hockey IQ. He is tough as shit. Tough. Big. Sasky boy, tough.
Unless Anaheim's
want him in the playoffs. Him in the playoffs for the Oilers, beast mode.
If Anaheim will retain $7 million of his $8.25 million cap hit,
I don't know what he has
has one goal in 18 games.
I don't care. I think he
hasn't had. I'm looking at his DB here. He hasn't had more than 20 goals since 2014.
It doesn't matter, man. It's Ryan Getzlaf. You take that. You love
Ryan Getzlaf. He's a good player, I'll admit it.
And admittedly so, I've always kind of fanboyed for Ryan Getzlaf.
See, I'm the opposite. I hate Ryan Getzlaf.
He's that complete hockey player, and he's a dick. And we need that, because if we get into a situation like say we're in a playoff series against Montreal, say we're in a playoff series against Winnipeg, those are big hockey teams.
Yes.
Big hockey teams. And we've got some elements in Cassidy back and Jujhar and this, but like, we just we would need to reciprocate size versus size, and Getzlaf, trust me, he puts enough fear into those guys because they've played against him. They know he's a prick.
I hope my dad's not watching this, but I'll admit it right now. I'd rather have Corey Perry than Ryan Getzlaf, and I don't like either of them. But let's move on. Let's move on from. Well, let's talk about tonight's game. Okay, first of all, I see my auntie commented, Krista, I love this show. Mostly love watching my nephew. Don't know a thing about hockey. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate that. Bjorn is coming in. Oilers Nation from Germany.
Hey, Bjorn!
Bjorn!
How you doing, buddy?
Brandon saying, wish I had some Oilers beer right now. Pick some up for tonight's game.
We have Nation beer. I don't know what Oilers beer is.
Wait, what is it? Wish I had some Oilers Nation beer tonight. Nation beer. That's what we call
Nation beer.
Cody's saying, Tip saying the players are driving the bus on leadership. Is this just talk to get us excited? Are the boys really taking charge and drinking the Kool-Aid?
Look at it.
Yeah.
You've got the Jesse Puljujarvi experiment is exactly is like a team gelling personified. Like, you see Leon giving him tips. You see Connor smiling with him. You see everyone engaging with him. You see Tip spending a lot of time with him. And that's putting Puljujarvi in a place of confidence and feeling happy. He sent out an Instagram post just saying having fun or something like that the other day.
Yeah.
Like, the guy is buzzing. Like, he is loving being here. He's loving playing hockey. And that's also infectious, right?
Yep.
If you got a really happy guy in the team, like, that's infectious. But, like, I just really feel... And this is how you come back from a 3-0 win or a 3-0 deficit in Vancouver. Is you got to be playing for each other. That's Mike Smith going into the dressing room, as you said, Josh, before the show the other day. Where that's Mike Smith going into the dressing room and saying, "You guys need to be better, and I know I'll be better. Let's fucking go." And going and pulling it off like that. Like, you have to be gelling, and there's got to be chemistry, team chemistry there, to pull that off. And so we're seeing it. We're seeing it.
I don't remember where I read that or where I heard it, but you mentioned it literally last game. Mike Smith went, or 2 games ago, Mike Smith went in the dressing room and said, let's just figure it out. I'll be better. You guys need to be better. And I think that that's something that this team wouldn't be able to crawl out of in previous years.
No.
But there's a gel this year.
Yeah,
there's a gel.
There's a belief.
Yep.
We believe.
Pekka Pekson is saying, Yamo has been quiet lately. I'm hoping he kicks it up to another gear tonight. I highly rate the kid. We love Yamamoto, but he's definitely been a little bit quiet. 5 goals in 22 games.
Yamo's due, though.
He's due.
Yamo's due. Like, look at that. That was against Calgary, where he almost, how he almost scored that shorthanded goal, and then he had a good chance against Vancouver last game. Like, he's just a little bit snake bitten. The guy puts in the effort every night to give himself a chance to score. It's just a matter of time. It's just a weird kind of slump. I love him.
I want to say thank you to everyone that was chiming in on Facebook. After I requested that you guys would start, firing off the comments on the chat, we had a ton of comments coming in. I absolutely love it. This is how we want every show to be. So whenever you're watching, feel free, whether it's a question, you just want to engage in a conversation with another person in the chat, just fire off some hot takes, please, always do it. This is the last one we're going to talk about before we move on to betting. Let's see, where is he here? Justin Hamilton says, do you think anyone drops the gloves tonight? If so, who?
Well, who do they got?
Leafs are soft, so no.
Muzzin?
Simmons is hurt.
Muzzin?
I think Travis Boyd, he's...
Never rule out Jumbo Joe. He'll chuck him. It's just...
Spezza. Spezza's gonna scrap.
Spezza gets fiery. I could see Nuge fighting Spezza for some random reason.
I'm not going to say it, but I would not want to see Nuge fight Spezza. I think
Spezza's got old man strength.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that might be...
Big boy, but the thing, Nuge is fiery. Once again, going back to what we were just talking about, how the team's gelling. Yeah. Puljujarvi plays a hard game. Like, he goes, he gets in the dirty, he's hitting, he's checking, he's pissing people off.
Yeah.
But we know he's not like a tough guy fighter, and that's fine. But both times in that Vancouver series, when Puljujarvi was getting into trouble,
who jumped in?
Nuge, right in there. But the Nuge has the fire, but once again, playing for each other. Nuge is just beelining it to the guy who's screwing around with Pool Party.
Yep.
Those are the things you need to see.
Love it. It's gel, man. They're gelling. Landon Carr says, what time do you guys usually start these? This is the first one I've managed to catch.
It's a moving target, Landon. We try to start at certain times. It depends on game start times. Depends if it's a Saturday.
I always try to tweet it out. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I try to tweet it out.
We probably should have some structure, but we're still figuring it out.
Dwayne Neufeld said, Leafs are soft as Charmin. Chris says, want to get some tonight. Just want to get some tonight. Not sure what that means, Chris, but thank you. Robert Williams II says, Nuggy, laughing faces. Once again, thank you all for chiming in the comments. On that note, let's jump into some money talk. Jay, as you mentioned, the line has moved already. Oilers minus 106. They are now underdogs. Right? Am I reading this right?
No, they're favored.
Oh, no, they're dogs.
They got them as a pick 'em. Oh, yeah.
They're technically dogs now. They're not dogs, but they're not really dogs.
No, it's basically a pick 'em.
It's a pick 'em.
I got them at
which kind of surprises me. I thought the Oilers might be favored.
Well, we're at home, but once again, Eastern bias. I'm assuming all the actuaries that run the book are out east, so blah, 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 premium to whatever. Good for us. Good for us.
Good for us.
More juice for us.
Listen, I'm not going to be betting tonight. I promised myself I wouldn't place another bet until March. As soon as March hits,
so close. Next
I
game,
will
Monday.
Monday. I will be participating in the sports betting. If I was betting tonight, Jay, agree with me on this. I would be taking the Oilers in regulation. I like that.
I think that's fair. Yeah, get a few extra points there.
Plus 140.
Yeah, that's.
You're taking that action.
Well, no, I'm playing a little bit different because I'm going money line and puck line. So I'm going. I've got Oilers on money line, and then I sprinkled a little bit on the puck line to make it really juicy. Should they win by 2?
1.5 is what you did.
Yeah, minus 1.5. So I've got that. I'm feeling good about that. I think, man,
who's scoring?
We got a real happy pool party. So pool party point at plus 105. Why not? He plays on the line with Connor McDavid. It's just the fact that that's plus. That's fantastic. He's buzzing.
Yeah.
So I'm going a little bit on pool party plus 105. Obviously, Barry point if you can find it. I can't find it on either book. I'm trying to actually find it for over 1.5 points, but I'm going Barry goal for the whole shove it up the Leafs mode or whatever I said, the FU mode.
Yeah.
And then I feel.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
Coolbet doesn't really offer very many player point totals.
They're weird with it, but on my other book, they're also they don't have a lot of.
Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for Darnell Nurse. I would take Nurse to get a point tonight. I like it.
That's fair.
I want Nurse
He's
to get
buzzing. He has had a month.
He was buzzing in regards to points, like production. He's kind of teetered off a little bit.
But he's shutting it down. He's playing like 900 minutes a night.
Yeah.
I also think
he's playing so much.
I also think a little dabble on to the whole Yamo conversation. It's just a matter of time. He's due. Like Yamo comes out and plays hard. So I'm just gonna put a couple bucks just for fun because I want to cheer for the kid, and that's how I cheer for him somehow was with my wallet. On Yamo to score. I think it was at plus 265. You got it right in front.
Yamo to score is at plus 265.
Yeah. Now, if you really, so I've got a fun story. I'll try to tell it really quick. My boy Derek in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Him and I kind of collaborated on some betting because his son is a huge Leafs fan and a huge Oilers fan, but he goes Leafs first. So we had a series of bets, and in terms of me and his son Chase. Sorry, Chase. I keep calling him Chase. His name's Cruz. Come on, Jay. Anyways, me and Cruz had some bets. I don't know if anyone follows me on Instagram. He had to put a video up about talking about how awesome the Oilers are. Then we had to reciprocate and do another bet. And I lost because the Oilers lost that second game. And then I had to make a bet on the Leafs. So I bet them to beat the Flames. Obviously, that's the only time I'm going to bet on the Leafs. And they won.
Yeah.
And then we did a couple other things, and we lost, we won, we lost, we won. So me and him really want to clear up what we owe each other because his money's in my sports book.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
Want to clear it up.
The accounting's like insane. Like I may come off as a math guy, not a math guy. So we're putting all of our collective remaining funds that we think is our remaining funds.
I love this.
On Connor to score over 1.5.
So you have how much money on Connor to score 2 goals tonight, Jay?
$100.
Woo!
So we're $100. So pray for Jay, play for Derek, pray for Saskatchewan.
This is for Saskatchewan.
This is real. Plus 500. This is a retirement bet, folks.
I don't know if we've ever had a retirement bet as big as tonight's retirement bet. Jay has, I don't know if you heard that properly, $100 on Connor to get 2 goals, which will cash out just around $600. I'm fired up.
It's the biggest bet I've ever made, but I'm excited, so it's making me more amped for tonight.
I have $0 on tonight's game.
Don't follow me on that one unless you just are just sprinkling a few bucks. That is not advice. I'm just telling you that I'm an idiot.
I'm going to be fired up. I'm going to be thinking about this throughout the entire game. If he gets one early one, it's going to be...
The heart palpitations.
Oh, buddy. Okay, so if
Make that empty netter if we need it tonight, Connor. I'm telling you.
If Connor McDavid does get 2 goals tonight, everyone make sure you tweet immediately at Jay. Congratulations. He's retiring. I'm going to be looking for a new co-host next show.
There'll be a spot on the Real Life podcast for you. I'm retired.
Oh, boy, I sure hope Connor gets 2 goals. That could be perfect for me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, as always, for chiming in on Facebook and Twitter. And if you're on Twitch, thank you as well. Jay, we got a good one on our hands tonight. It's Hockey Night in Canada, Oilers versus Leafs. Can't be Connor McDavid versus Austin Matthews because only one of them is playing. But I digress. Monday is the next game, correct?
Yes, Justin Bieber's birthday, national holiday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I like the Biebs. I've always been a Biebs guy.
Gotta love the Biebs, man. Gotta love the Biebs.
He's just a good Canadian kid.
The only knock about the Biebs is that he's a giant Leafs fan and he's boys with Austin Matthews. Now, that's cool that he can be Austin Matthews' buddy because he is Justin Bieber, but
and he's from that area.
I know, but I would just love him as an Oilers fan. It'd be so good for the Oilers if he was an Oilers fan.
Oilers need a Drake, or maybe not.
Yeah, I would take. I would take Oilers.
Is Brett Kissel our Drake?
He is our Drake. Deuce Vodka is our Drake.
Deuce Vodka is our Drake. As always, this show is brought to you by Deuce Vodka. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy tonight's game. Bet responsibly, and we will see you on Monday.